Namaste students, Kushra Betiya. I am Jvwu and Dr. Y. Chandrakala, Assistant Professor Jyoti Vidyapeeth, Women's University, Jaipur. In today's class, we are going to discuss about reading aloud and reading silently. Okay? What are the difference between both? So when we see the type of reading, there are two main types of reading. That is the reading for pleasure and reading for informations. Okay. So the ways in which the reading types of reading was followed, that is the loud reading, silent reading. Okay. So loud reading, when we say, these are also known as the oral or aloud reading. That means loud reading should be introduced after the student have been given some training in 2 months on the point of concerning the pronunciation, stress, pitch, intonations, and other aspects of the spoken English. According to Ryburn, there is very little real reading done in English. Part of difficulty is that the English is a foreign language, but the chief difficulty is found in the fact that the people are not taught to read aloud properly in their mother tongue. Okay. So following exercise which will help a student. Normally like exercise with a pace and pause. Pause. That means read aloud from a newspaper or a textbook. Just before you run out of a breath, say aloud. I pause, I breathe, then take time to inhale and let your breath drop low. That means it's into your like stomach. Then continue breathing out on the out breath. So every time you need to breathe, say the word I pause, I breath. Continue the exercise until you feel comfortable using the face and the breath deeply and regularly. So use a tape recorder can help you to monitor this. The continue reading aloud, but this time say the phrase I pause and I breath the silently in your mind. Second is the correcting your pitch range. Okay. So practicing changing up and down when the space of a few words take the statement I can do that and say it in 4 different ways. I can do that, I can do that. That means the practice using the pitch. Okay. The pitch of the tone, your tone or the speech, the practicing saying the emotion each times of the statement twice in succession, and then forming the concept here. Okay. So here taking a pause with which is very important, right, in explaining the articulation. Okay. So here the practicing using pitch in to reflect the emotional content of your speech. Practicing saying each of the following statement twice in succession. So the first is the flat, and you can say the emotionally you can and use the pitch to express the emotions, like, okay. So how you express your emotions and the words of expression. That means articulation of turning voice to hear speech. When we say the articulation of turning voice to speech, that means you turn the voice into a speech is action of the speech from the speech organ to the head. That means you are articulating your voice to the speech. Then comes the tongue, both the lips, a tip here, both the tips of the back of the tongue and that to the produce different sounds. That means the lips, the soft palate and that are moving. It lies back to the roof of the mouth or the hard palate. This is immovable and can lie in front of the soft palate to the top of the mouth. Okay. So the articulation of the voice into a speech, and the dental ridge and behind the upper and the lower teeth, the jaw. So exercise with vowels. So you can exercise here, train the child to exercise with the vowels like hook, hey, high, higher, or shower, hoot, hawk, hot, hurt, hard, heel, hit, head, hand, how, hey, high, hour, shower. So this kind of use of exercise in the verbals that helps to articulate and turning the voice. Okay. Then comes your objective of the loud learning to enable the student to read with correct pronunciation, articulation, intonation, and stress, pitch, and pause, pace, and rhythm to enable the student to read and expressions to enable the student to understand the meaning of the spoken word, phrase, and sentences. In the word of Rayburn, to test the pupil knowledge, the English word phrases and the clarity that is reading aloud is to test as well as practice. Okay. So here you can see the main objective of the loud reading is to develop the student a desire for silent reading. So here the process of loud reading is executed in two ways. That is, the teacher read a sample of passage and pronounce and intonation and the stress the rhymes where the with the rhythm of pause. And if a people required repetition of model reading, the teacher should do so. So here they should not be forcefully implemented. The aim of this sample or a model reading is to train the auditory nerves of the students. Okay, that means the opinion here is to make the teacher is the sole source of the language. He is like a mother or of the bird which wants to fly. And okay, so the student should read loudly. Here the teacher should correct the pronunciation and he should correct the student wherever it is necessary. But it should not be done in between or after the people finish the reading. While reading play, the people should assign roles and they should read their respective roles. So here the standard of reading aloud can be raised, and the raising the level of the student and the poetry can be recited and can be done. So the speed of reading along with the accuracy should be emphasized at the senior level, where As it the junior level, only accuracy is demanded. Okay. So the precautions as a teacher has to be taken, that is the student should be asked to maintain accuracy and not the speed. Okay. The speed will come with practice. But accuracy once lost will be difficult to regain. The passage for reading should be within the comprehension power of the student. Reading aloud should be done on individual basis, and so there are different individual pronunciation. The posture of the student should be right, and the relationship between the head and the neck and almost the balanced posture. So the advantage of reading here loud is model teaching, but the teacher helps the students to know the correct pronunciation and methods of reading. To develop the skill of the speech and giving lectures. It helps in eradicating the mistakes related to the pronunciations. It trains the sensory organs, eye, ear, mouth, because in loud reading they work in coordination. It makes the student learn by imitations, which is natural method of learning things by the children. Okay, so there are different techniques where a child is able to learn the concept in a different ways. Okay, so reading aloud is one of the effective methods where the students learn the method of how to read a content and how to understand the emotions of a content in a speech and able to implement in his day-to-day activity. Okay, thank you. This session is powered by 2.0 Jyoti Vidyapeeth Women's University Jaipur. If you have any queries, we'll discuss in the problem solving session.